Hello class, it's my second video. In this video, I will continue with whatever they have given in the curriculum this time under string. What happened when I followed the book to teach you in class 11, I did not see couple of functions, couple of things which are given here. Okay, I did not actually look at the syllabus, I look at the book. And from year to year, obviously the things vary slightly sometimes. So one or two things got missed out in this process. For example, I don't think I have told you this particular function partition. Although I will go through just briefly with all of them so that you can quickly remember what it was like. I will just share my screen with you meanwhile. Uh, just have a look. Uh, the partition, the function which I was showing you. What is the purpose of the function partition? Partition function gives you basically three elements in a tuple. It will give you an elements having three tuples, and it will also help you to search for a substring in a string. For example, I wrote say st equal to hi, how are you doing? Okay, this is my string, right? And then what happened? We wrote p. We took a variable, and we wrote st dot partition. If you remember that most of the string functions uh, are used, most of them, like we write the first the string and then comes dot the function, right? So here string function partition is applied on the string st, and what am I doing? I'm looking for a substring r in the string st. And what this partition, this function will do, it will help you search for it and it will show you a tuple. What kind of tuple? If we print the value of p, we will get to know what kind of tuple we are going to get. Look at this. We got a tuple having three elements. In the first element, we have the portion which is there before the searched string. My search string was r, and r was rightly found out because the substring r is very much present in st. So what has happened right from the beginning till the beginning of the substring r, it has taken out and made part of the first element of the tuple. So that is how, look at this high space how, and after how the space, that is also there as part of the element 1. Second element of the tuple is the substring itself that you're going to, that you're searching for. And third element of the tuple will be the remaining part of the string after the substring. So when we say the remaining part of the string after the substring, that includes this space also, because this space is also there after the searched word or searched substring r. So space u space doing, u space doing, and ends with a question mark. Everything is there. Fine. So I hope you understood this. It makes basically a tuple having three elements. First element contains the part which is there at the beginning of the search substring, which includes space and other characters. And the second one is the substring itself. And the third element of the tuple is the part that is there after the substring. But we are talking about a substring. But imagine if the substring is not there, then what will happen? Let's write an example and see by ourselves. For example, if I try to look for a word okay, which is not present only in the string, in that case, what do we get? In that case also we'll get three elements, but look at this, second element and third element are blank, nothing, none. And the whole string became the part of the first element of the tuple. So this property you have to remember, that if the substring is not found, the whole string appears as the first element of the tuple, and the second and third element of the tuple becomes blank, right? So that is all about the partition function. There are few other functions which you know very well, I'm sure, but I'm just still revising in case you forgot by now, like capitalize and title. What is the purpose of capitalize? Capitalize is supposed to make only the first letter of a string capital. Like I wrote here, say, Soubik is a good boy. Okay, so when we say Souvik is a good boy, look at this, all are in small letters. So if we write text equal to text dot capitalize, okay, if we do so, and then if we print text, what will happen? The first letter of the thing will become capital. Remaining of them remain as it is. Okay. Now I'm going back to the same old value of the text, that is Souvik is a good boy, completely written in small letters. Okay. So capitalize made only the first letter capital. Okay, so already the changes are made, so I'm just reassigning the same value. Now we will see, um, now what will happen if we do print, or if we just write text. Let's apply the other one, text equal to text dot uh, capitalize, and the other one that we are going to do is title here. So just write title. If you write title, what will happen? Title will make the first letter of every word capital. So obviously a space will be used to detect every word, the beginning of every word. And if we print text now, let's see what happens. So here you can see that every letter, beginning letter has become capital. That means anything which comes after the space, that becomes a capital letter. So that is all about title and capitalize. Upper and lower, these two functions you know very well. Upper means converts the whole thing into capital. For example, if I write st equal to, st was, if you remember, I already wrote here, hi, how are you doing? Okay, so if I write st equal to st dot upper, what will happen? The whole, if I print st, look at this, the whole string become capital. And also if we do st equal to st dot lower, okay, then opposite thing will happen, that is the whole string will become smaller. Okay, this you know it very well. What is the purpose of count? I believe you remember this too. Some of you definitely remember. Count basically counts number of substring in a string. Number of substring in a string. Now, when you say number of substring in a string, sometimes it could be a little complicated. For example, uh, say I wrote h equal to, um, which one shall I take? So let me take a fresh string, then I'll be able to explain you better. Say I wrote the HIR is, doesn't make any sense, but still I'm writing the best school of all, the only school. So look at this. Purposely, I wrote the word the once in starting beginning letter capital, and rest all are in small letters. The entirely in small, the here entirely in small, but here purposely I wrote the, but T is capital. Okay. Now I want to count. What I want to count? Say I wrote here P equal to text dot count. What I want to count? In the text, I want to count the appearance, number of appearance of this particular substring. Okay, so we can easily see here the substring the here appears 2 times, and this we cannot consider that because the beginning letter is capital. So what is happening here? We are going to, if you print P, you are going to have 2. But what if the letters are written in capital, small? The is the, whether it's written in small or capital. If you do not want to uh, discriminate between the small letters and capital letters, then what is the solution? Then you can use a small trick here. What you can do is you can make use of this lower or upper, one of the functions. For example, unless you write, look at this very, very carefully, st equal to st dot lower, it doesn't bring the change about uh, it. For example, what I mean to say, let me show you by example. Say if I write print text dot, if I wrote upper, right? So it will print the whole thing in capital letter. There is no doubt about it. But you print the value of text. Look at this. The change has not carried forward to the text. Okay. the text remains the same, everything written in small. Here, how it got capital, because I used upper function, but the change did not incorporate it in the variable text. That will be possible only if I write text equal to text dot upper, but I did not write text equal to. So the change did not take place in the original variable. Okay, I believe you know this. We have done this kind of things in class 11. Uh, Now, what I have done here, look at this, what I was going to do. I was just going to print what I was going to print. I was going to take a count of all the, irrespective of their capital or small. Then what you can do is you can write the string, main string, that is text. And what you can do is you can write here, say, lower. That means irrespective of whatever it is, the whole string you consider, the whole string you visualize in the lower case. And then what you do is uh, you can also write here the count. Okay, two functions I'm using simultaneously. Look at this, and I wrote the. So it will obviously include here. Here, even if there are some the written in capital letters, those will become, the entire string will be converted. Not string will be converted. Its converted form in the lowercase will be considered as a main string. So there, obviously, the word the will always be in small letters. So if you write the word the here, okay, small the, then obviously you'll be able to figure out the actual number of the word the present. Fine. So capital small, that discrimination will now go. Look at this. Now the value of the number of appearance of the word the is 3. But another funny thing happens. This also I told you in class 11. The count basically considers the word there. There also the part of the word there is the. So that is also counted. So it's a dangerous thing. So like if I take k equal to there we have the car, then whatever, only this much I wrote, fine. And then if I say count, let me straight away write k dot count and the word the. I wrote the in small letters. Now look at this, what is happening. Here it is 3. How it is 3? Because here, look at this, the word the is there as a part of the word there. Here also, here the word the itself is there, and here again in then it has counted the word the. So it's a problem. So to avoid such complicacy, only one thing you can do here, you can, at the beginning and at the end, you can put a little bit of space. Otherwise, actual result you will not get. Now here it means very clearly, I'm looking for the word the, but having a space before and after. Fine. So in this case, that problem can be avoided. Fine. In the next video, I will revise the remaining of the functions with you.